I was in the shower and a drop of shower gel got into my eye, and my eye is a little bit red. It was so over the weekend, it was so, but now it's getting better. So don't think that bestie was built into a power, because that's not the case. That is why I am recording with the sunglasses today. So we are going to talk about detaching from people and situations, because sometimes when we talk about detachment, we usually talk about detaching from people, but we also need to detach from situations, even the outcomes. I am going to share a true story from my past dating experience with my American white ex-boyfriend. The reason why I'm going to share the story, it is because it relates to the video. It is going to help someone to understand the power of detachment, why you should detach, why you should let go, because it really derails you. It derails you. It will turn you into something that you are not, and it will take your power from you, and it will suck out the energy from you if you are attached to people or situation. When you are attached to a person, or when you are attached to people, you tend to put that person on a pedestal. You tend to put that situation on a pedestal, or you tend to put that outcome on a pedestal. You start chasing that thing, you start worshiping that thing, you start idolizing that thing or that person. So why is detachment a form of self-love? Okay, let me share the story with you, and then we will talk more about the issue throughout the video. I was in a relationship with an American white guy. I'm saying white guy because at that point in 2016, I was one of those African girls who thought that maybe dating a white man is the prize. I'm not saying that it is wrong, but looking back at the situation and how I was treated at that point, that's how it feels like, because I am very, very authentic, especially when I'm sharing from my personal experience, because I want to make a difference. I want to be an impact, so that somebody can learn from the mistakes that I've made from my personal experiences. So what happened? I've always attracted high value men. Not that I go around looking for them. Like, I always attract them. They always there's always a way of meeting them, of them coming into my path. High value men, men that are well established, handsome men, like men that have done very well with their lives. So that has made me become a woman that chases in the past, not now, because like I have worked so hard. I believe I'm now in the new version that no longer chase but attacks. So, and this guy had a lot of money. He would do a lot of things for me. Remember the first time when he came to see where I live, I was staying in one room. And those who are living in South Africa, in Rosettenville area, like those suburbs, those suburbs that look like they've been abandoned. I was living in that area, and they are rents. It doesn't matter how clean you are, as long as you are renting a room in a house, you are bound to see the rats, and you are going to leave the rats even if you keep your place clean. So when this guy came, he said, "Oh my goodness, Caroline, why are you living with the rats?" And this guy got me a 2-bedroom apartment and bought furniture for the apartment and paid my rent, and he did most of the things. And at that time, I started selling some products so that I can make money. He bought my first stock. He really went all out for me, and he would take me out on fancy dinners. Like those who live in South Africa, Nelson Mandela Square, all those restaurants in Nelson Mandela Square, like expensive restaurant. He took me there, and because of that, I was so attached to him. I ended up putting him on a pedestal. I ended up idolizing him. He was literally my everything. At that point, it felt like he was the center of my universe. And I really didn't know who I was, because I allowed him to treat me anyhow because of the attachment issues that I had on him. I said he is American, so we had a 6-hour difference. At midnight, my time, it will be like 6 p.m. his time. 6 o'clock in the morning, my time, it will be like midnight his time. So this guy started calling me at midnight. He will call me throughout the night. From midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, I am on the phone with this guy because he wanted to see like what I was doing throughout the night, who I was with. I ended up becoming an object. I ended up becoming a possession. He was controlling me because when you are attached to somebody, they start controlling you. They start manipulating you. They start doing as they please with you because they are taking advantage because they know that you are so attached to them. That is why you need to detach from people. Even if you love them, you need to detach. You shouldn't be so attached to a point whereby your vulnerabilities or are noticed, or they see a loophole like in the way you handle things, your character, your emotional intelligence, your self-awareness. Once they see those weaknesses, that you are lacking emotional intelligence, that you have no self-awareness, because if you really have emotional intelligence, if you really have self-awareness, you wouldn't allow anybody to keep you up the whole night. If you truly love yourself, you wouldn't allow anybody to deprive you of your sleep. And if somebody truly loves you, they will understand that it's very time for you. You needed to sleep. And that was a situation that I needed to detach on, but I cling on to it because of maybe the financial situation or the love part that when I thought it was love, but it wasn't love. It was not really love, because how in the world would you love me if you want me to be up all night just because you want to see who am I with? So I got to a point whereby I felt like I was a zombie and I needed to get out of the situation. I was like, I'm gonna detach myself from this situation. I'm gonna detach from this person. And then I started not checking the calls. I started not taking the calls, and he started swearing at me, calling me a dumb AWS, calling me shit for brains, lower than well shit. All those swearing words started doing that. But I was like, you know what? I am choosing myself. That is why I'm saying detachment is a form of self-love, because when you detach from the person or you detach from the situation, you pour the love back into you. And then when you pour the love back into you, you start realizing your value. You start taking care of yourself. I started taking care of my sleep. I started loving myself. And then I sat down and I did an introspection that helped me to identify the limiting beliefs that I had. I believed that I was not chosen. I believed that I was not a priority. I believed that I was not worthy. I believed that I was not deserving because of all these things that I've allowed them to happen to me, because of these limiting beliefs, the things that I believed about myself. It made me put up with somebody who didn't treat me well, because I thought like, okay, if this person leaves me, I'm not gonna have somebody who's going to love me the way I deserve to be loved. I'm not going to have somebody who's gonna pursue me. I'm not going to have somebody who's going to love me. But once I realized that, I am worthy, I'm chosen, I am loved, I am deserving to be pursued, I am deserving to be chased, I am the prize. And then I put myself on a pedestal, because let me tell you, once you put on somebody on a pedestal, it means that you are attached. You are the one that is supposed to sit on a pedestal. Yes, I said what I said. That pedestal belongs to only you. When you start loving yourself and then you start healing, you start identify like areas that you need to work on. And then I think that is the best form of like self-love that you can ever experience. And when you are attached to something, it will repel. When you're attached to something, and then you will start having that energy that chases. And the moment you start chasing, whatever you are chasing, it will start repelling. In my African language, we say, that which is not meant for you, even if you hold it with both hands, it will find itself to force it out of your hands. And if something is meant for you, it will come to you even at sunset. I always say, you know what, that which is meant for you, it will meet and greet you face to face. It is inevitable. Just like spring shows that summer is not far away. There is literally no force on earth that is going to stop what is meant for you. And you don't even have to lift a finger. You need to start practicing self love. You know, like I have said it in some of my videos, like you can stand in front of the mirror and you start talking to yourself like, I love you, you're so beautiful, you're confident, you're amazing. All those positive affirmations that you can say to yourself, they will help you to practice self-love, and then you will be able to say, okay, I now need to detach this from this situation. I now need to detach from this person because it is toxic, it is not serving me, it is derailing me, it is not making my life better. I have three siblings. Two of them, like, they can talk to me about anything, and the other one is an introvert. I don't know whether it's an introvert, the one that doesn't open up. So every time when my siblings have got a situation between each other, they will call me or send me a message on WhatsApp. One sibling will be reporting another sibling because I am the eldest. So they've got this thing of saying I am the big sis. So what I usually do, I assess the situation. I observe the situation and I ask myself, if I get involved in this situation, is it going to create more tension between the two siblings, or is it going to make me take sides? If I feel like, okay, this is going to create more tension, this is going to make me take sides, especially if I see that the other sibling is not right. So sometimes I choose to observe. They call it the observer effect. I choose to observe and not say anything. I usually tell all of them, you know what, guys, I really have no desire to talk about anything that takes away from my peace. And what I do is I pray for them. And then they will find a way of working things out and sorting it out. Have you ever realized that when you are holding a sponge, like, you know, like that sponge that you're using to wash the dishes, when you're holding to that sponge, if you squeeze it like too tight, or okay, you put the sponge in the water in the sink, you're busy washing your dishes. If you squeeze that sponge too tight, and then it will shrink. So if you are chasing, if you are clingy, if you are too needy, you are sucking the energy out of people. People, they will end up resenting you because you are too much on them. You know, you are too much on them. So you really need to give people enough space. Like the new version of me, it no longer chases. The new version of me can love you and still let you go, because I believe that I can love someone and still let them go. Love them even if I'll never see them, or even if I'll never talk to them. I can still love them without even saying anything to them, letting them go, but still loving them. And that has really helped me so much, because if I do that, they usually come back to me, because I am not projecting the chasing energy on them, you know, like they are not I'm not making them run away, because when you chase something, it will like literally run away. And if you know like that something is meant to happen, you don't have to cling onto it. You don't have to hold tight onto it. It's like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you know that it is going to germinate. It is going to bud and flourish. It's going to sprout, and it will become a plant, and it will yield fruits in the end. So detachment is not only about detaching from people, detaching from situations, also detach from the outcome. Let things happen organically. Let things flow naturally. Just like when you have ordered something from Amazon, you have placed the order. That moment when you added it onto the cart, it became yours. You have not yet received it like physically, but it is already yours. It's inevitable. You know that this thing is coming. You don't go and check your mailbox every 5 minutes. You don't go and stand outside and check for the courier guy or the delivery guy. You know that you've ordered it. It's coming. It's inevitable. So, like when you are in the process of something, you're working on something, sometimes you need to allow it to happen. Like in the best case scenario, don't force things, don't force situations, especially those who are in a relationship. If you are in a relationship and you know that, okay, I'm in a relationship with this person, this relationship might lead somewhere. Do not force things, do not push things, do not try harder. You know that if it's meant to be, it is gonna work out for you in the best case scenario without you without you attaching yourself to the person or attaching yourself to the relationship. Just let it flow organically. It is gonna come to you. If it's meant for you, it will meet you and greet you face to face. I hope this video was beneficial. Thank you so much, besties, for watching up to this far. I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye, besties.